Hiya. I've recently been doing a study on wisdom, and it's one of those subjects it's good to come back to every now and again. So why do we need wisdom? Might seem a silly question, but often it's when we have made a stupid decision that we realise that we are lacking wisdom, or we've done something silly, we've messed up, we've bought something we could not afford, or we've overstretched ourselves, or we've done something that has had a knock-on effect to others that we realise, oh my goodness, I could have done with some wisdom at that moment. So it's good to come back to God and just ask him regularly for wisdom. And you may be reminded when we talk about wisdom of King Solomon, of course, and at start of his kingship, he says this to God in 1 Kings 3:7-9. Now, O Lord, you have made me king instead of my father David, but I am like a little child who doesn't know his way around. Here I am in the midst of your own chosen people, a nation so great and numerous that they cannot be counted. Give me an understanding heart so that I may govern your people well and know the difference between right and wrong. So Solomon knew that wisdom would enrich his own life, but also enrich the lives of those he led. And that is why we need wisdom. We need wisdom because it will enrich our own life, but also those lives of the people around us, our family, our friends, those that we are witnessing to. It will enrich their lives to have a friend who is wise. So what is wisdom? How do we define it? I felt this was a really helpful definition, and there's many, I guess, but this is one I found that was good. Wisdom is knowledge of what is true or right, coupled with just judgment as to action. So it's not just knowing what's right, but it's putting it into practice, and how to put it into practice that becomes part of wisdom when it's working properly with us. We can have lots and lots of knowledge stored up in our brain, but it's how to apply it and move that information into action that's important. The first and most important thing we need to know about wisdom is that it comes from God. Psalm 111 verse 10 says, the beginning of true wisdom is found when we fear the Lord. And then it goes on to say, we will grow in wisdom when we obey God. And this makes a lot of sense. If you've had children, with your own parents, when we obey our parents, when we trust them, we learn as we grow older that they can see the road ahead of us, whereas we can't as children. So for their wise parents, we can learn from that, and we can learn that is going to produce the best good for us in the long term. And that's the same with our loving Heavenly Father. As we obey him, as we trust him, he takes care of us. He takes care of the footsteps ahead of us. In James 3:13, wisdom is defined as this: if you are wise and understand God's ways, prove it by living an honourable life, doing good works with the humility that comes from wisdom. But if you are bitterly jealous and there is selfish ambition in your heart, don't cover up the truth with boasting and lying. For jealousy and selfishness are not God's kind of wisdom. Such things are earthly, unspiritual, and demonic. For wherever there is jealousy and selfish ambition, there you will find disorder and evil of every kind. But the wisdom from above is first of all pure, is also peace-loving, gentle at all times, and willing to yield to others. It is full of mercy and the fruit of good deeds. It shows no favoritism, and it is always sincere. Now, when we unpack that passage, let's just break it down. So, firstly, wisdom is honourable. We show honour to everyone. Humble. We don't draw attention to ourselves. Selfless. We think of others more than we think of ourselves. Pure. We strive to attain to have untarnished motives. Peace-loving. We agree to respectfully disagree with others. Gentle. We consider the feelings of others before acting. Merciful. We give second chances because they've been given to us. Impartial. We show fairness to everyone that we encounter. And finally, sincere. We are authentic, honest, and full of integrity. And if you need wisdom, here's what you need to do to get it. There's a promise in James chapter 1, verse 5. If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. So ask for wisdom today and see what God will do.